Hey everybody, Mark here again with another grammar video. If you've watched our recent videos, I was recently talking about the first conditional. Now for our first conditional, if you watched our video, right? First conditional, we said it's a possible situation, right? A possible situation in the future. But today we're going to look at our second conditional. Second conditional we use for an imaginary situation. Now imaginary, right? What's the difference? Possible and imaginary. Well, imaginary is like this. If I saw a tiger, I would run away. Now, in my life, I live in Singapore. I go to work every morning. I come to the school. Will I see a tiger? Will I see a tiger? Because first conditional, remember, we could say, if I see a tiger, I will run away. Possible, right? Possible. But this one, I think it's only imagination. It's something that's not going to happen, or the chance of it happening is very, very low. Low chance of happening. So we say imaginary. Imagine, right? If I saw a tiger, I would run away. Now, if we look at this grammar pattern, we have two pieces, right? Here, we have if and saw. If you remember from our previous videos, right? A lot of verbs have three different versions. We have the infinitive, we have the past, and then we also have our past participle, our PP. Today we're going to use our past simple. And that's the pattern we'll use for our second conditional. We will use an if plus past simple, and then our would plus run, right? The run, this one, just like first conditional, we had will plus infinitive. Now we have would plus our infinitive. All right, would plus our infinitive. So again, like any grammar, I want you to imagine something that you don't think is very likely or you don't think is possible. Like for me, I could say, if I lived in Japan, I would eat sushi every day. Do I live in Japan? No. Will I live in Japan? Actually, low chance, right? Low chance. So I can use the would for my imaginary situation. For our students, I could say, oh yeah, if I were a ULC student, I'd always do my homework. And when people speak, they often use this shorter version when they're speaking, right? If I were a student, if I were a ULC student, I'd, right? We take the I would and we shorten it to I'd. I'd always do my homework. And then I know some of you are thinking to yourselves, why is there a were here? Remember, same pattern, past simple. You know we usually do I was. Why did I put I were in the sentence? Well, the reason is because of this imaginary situation. When we talk about imaginary or unreal situations in English, we often will use the were, right? Okay, if you could do if I were, if he were, right? If she were, right? She was, he was, right? It was, I was, right? But because it's an imaginary situation, right? It's okay, right? If I use that one, I could say if he were, if she were, if it were. Okay? All of these are all right because it's imaginary. Now, you might say, oh, if I was a Yossi student, yeah, was is also okay. A lot of grammar books say that both are okay, but actually, I think that native speakers, especially people from America, will more often use this special way whenever they're using if I were, right? It's actually more common for people where I grew up to use this pattern. All right, and I think I have just one last example here. I say, I would study hard if I were you. This is another very common, very common phrase you'll hear in English. If I were you. Can I be you? Let's see, who's watching? Oh, there's Andy. Hi, Andy. There's my student Wong Ping. Hello. Right? Can I be you? Actually, no. I can only be Mark. I can't be anyone else, right? So we say, if I were you, imagination, right? If I were you, I would study hard, right? And for our final thing here, just like first conditional, remember, second conditional, if you use if at the beginning, you need your comma. If da-da-da, comma, result. If da-da-da, comma, result. For this one, would at the beginning, if in the middle, no comma, no problem. All right? So use your imagination. You can say, if I were rich, if I had wings, if I could speak English perfectly, I would, right? So I'd love to see your examples below. Give us a comment, and I will see you in the next video.